This is an accordion made in Stradella.
Yes. Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. This is the violin. The violin normally is a 2/8 feet, one is sharp. Bassa, from.
That's me.
You know?
Yes.
This is a digital system. If you go with this sound when you play with the cello, they will kill you. And if we add a flat, we have this. This is dissonant, but oppositely made, because a lot of people like this sound. Se c'è anche la cosa più brutta del mondo, adesso gli faccio sentire la cosa più brutta del mondo.
Okay, so this is the most ugliest thing in the world now.
Yeah, just a moment, me lo tieni perché qua non si preferiscono non staccare niente. Allora, aspetta, clarinetto, questo qua. Okay, one music without the 8 feet at the diapason.
That's painful.
So this is the flat one and the sharp one.
One of the bad sounds.
Torture.
But you can't do. You have to open to do this. But this is the one without the one that's exactly in tune. Yeah?
You
have
think
just the sharp one and just
on the accordion made for the folk music in Italy or in other country, but you know, the Scottish don't joke too with this sound. It's terrible.
Oh, and that's why I left.
This sound exists only in the Italy, in the French, where they play very old traditional music, not traditional music, come si può dire, folk music, popular music. Popular music. So French, Italy, in the Scottish, and in the Portugal. On the diatonic accordion, you can't imagine where they are. It's more terrible than this, because they have the accordion with 4 reeds, 2 sharp and 2 flat, with 2 different sharp and 2 different flats, without the central reeds. You can't imagine.
You know, this Scottish accordion is called Jimmy Shannon, but he's dead now.
Jimmy Shand era un filarmonicista scozzese, suonava standard di qua e British Chromatic, che è diatonico su 3 file.
I was a student in Denmark at the time, and I was coming back to visit my mother, and I got stopped in the customs in the airport, and they said, "What is that?" And it's my accordion. "Where have you been?" And I'm a student in Denmark, and he said, the customs officer said, "Why do you want to go to Denmark? We have Jimmy Shand in Scotland." And I said, "That's exactly why I went to Denmark." he didn't quite understand.
Non so se hanno qualche altra domanda, glielo chiedo. Is there any other questions that?
I think one thing that I often wondered, that I've experienced one tuner, a Russian tuner, who insisted that when he did the final tuning, that he had the instrument in a playing position rather than on that position. So he would try and then hold and tune and back in the playing position again, and insisted that that was the best position to do a final tuning.
Unique thing for me, change a little thing is Dov'è il manticcione che avevamo portato? Il manticcione. For make the final tuning on the body, we can turn off. We have these. Is a belt where we can apply half part of the accordion, or the left or the right. We put on these and we can play. Okay. But when I finish the tune here, I must check a little bit again on the body. Naturally, I don't fix by the nails, by the pins, because if I take and put and take and put pins after I finish the tune, I have to remake the hole, reclose and remake the hole. But in any case, I put on the body. I try because something move again, but not a lot. I assure you, when if you work carefully on these, the tuning will be good. Sure.
E lui ha detto che però che lui lo metteva in posizione da, cioè così, no?
Sì, ma senza spine come fai a metterlo così?
Yeah. With that, but you'd have to put the pins in and then take them out.
He just held it. Like
Lo teneva insieme. Però può fare differenza averla così o così?
Sicuramente non fa differenza da averla così e averla in piedi.
No.
L'importante don't make difference if you have in this position or in this position. The important thing, the last control you have to do on this frame.
yeah.
Because something can move, sure something move. Sometime happen, I play here, all is okay, I put on the frame, I try especially the deep bassoon reed, maybe una si ferma.
Maybe one doesn't work.
I check out, I check here, work, I will put on the frame and stop. Because, and this happen more with the high quality of reeds than the low quality, because the precision of del taglio della piastra è maggiore nella voce di alta qualità.
It's more precise on a high quality reed.
So only the little deformation of the frame on the body can be stopped one reed. So you imagine the precision we have. It's terrible.
This is fascinating.
But in any case, I am convinced when you have to finish in the last check on his frame is okay.
It's still quite scary because you might make it worse or something. If, let's say, I now think, yes, it was so easy. It looks easy when you do it.
Yeah.
But then when I open, and I'll be like, okay, and then everything is gone.
For this, I said it's just for show you the problem can happen, or maybe what you can do. But I know is hard, especially when we have to make something in the reeds inside. I show you by these tools, you have to have these, you have to make these, and in any case is difficult again. Is a good thing if somebody want learn to make just the little correction before a concert, because you have one reed the tune it all, found a old accordion and try.
We have one, I think you followed it just now.
And try what's happened with a file, with 2-3 little tools, and try what's happened. You can understand better, because I explain, I showed you, but you must do you for understand, because not my word, by my word you learn, but also with your arm, with your hands, like as when you play.
The tools that you use there, that you've given to me, those tools now, you can find those in a normal ironmongery shop, in a normal...
Some little trucks, tricks. This is obtained from a reed steel, but we are not obligated to use this. Very easy is you go to the color shop
To a?
Color shop, dove vendono I colori, le vernici.
Paint shop. Paint
sorry.
shop, sì.
Le lastre di acciaio, le lamine di acciaio che usano per stendere il gesso e lo stucco.
Yeah, the blades that they use to smooth out plaster.
It's fantastic. We find the 3, 4, 5 different sizes. You buy the more little, is about
The thinnest one.
meno 2 cm, forse anche meno.
Yeah.
Devono stringerle con una mola.
You have to file it down on a wheel, on a
Stone wheel.
a lathe, not a lathe,
Come si chiama?
grindstone, a stone, grindstone.
Yeah,
Grindstone.
yeah.
But the thickness.
The thickness is the right
all
thing.
this is fantastic. And when we have obtained these 4, more long is better than this, you have to put very thin the edge by a sandpaper. And you take a paper of sandpaper and until you will have the just thickness to go between the wreath and the body in the plate. This is I said to you, Prima is a little bit fat. is okay for this size of wreath. In the little wreath you can twirl. No, it's okay if we do minimum 2. One very thin for the little wreath, and one with more thickness for the medium and the high wreath. It's okay, because if you use the thin for bend the big wreath, you will destroy immediately in the head, you know. This is one for make this. This is, but it's not a big problem because this is a steel for make the springs. Dai ferramenta, credo che si possa
Maybe
trovare.
from an ironmongery shop.
O si
you
può
find.
cercare magari qualche molla.
Or
qualche-
maybe if you have an old spring or from
Nelle
something.
macchine ci sono delle molle, in tante
in cars,
parti ci sono delle
you have
molle,
to
si
scavenge
possono
something that you
raddrizzare e
can
piegare.
shape.
I used celluloid for make this, but we can use also wood, a rounded wood. Is not a problem. Important, you glue, you make a hole in this piece of wood. You put. The unique thing you have to bend. Come possiamo fargli vedere? Dobbiamo distruggere una cosa per fargli vedere. Per potergli dare la forza di piegare in questo senso, vedi, io qua lo piego in questo modo, io lo disegno. I draw you. La birra che mi aveva dato Sandro e c'era ancora lui. Vai. This is the hook. If you want to look, if I glue this in a piece of wood, don't work because it's don't make a resistance when I'm sure. No? So when I do this, I must bend like as this, or the important thing must to be bend like as this. So I give, come gli do anche
You can
una
give it
resistenza
some
laterale.
resistance, some lateral resistance when you turn. Yeah.
It's sufficient 3-4 millimeters, so you know.
Yeah.
So we have the hook,
Yeah.
we have this, the file. This is a special file made in Switzerland.
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 In Switzerland.
In Sweden too, but is this, and this is used for. Is not good for the final tuning. It's good for the first tuning on the reeds before put the reeds on the wood. So for you, forget about it. This is okay. You don't find this in any parts of the world, and only in the Castelfidardo and in Swiss.
In Switzerland.
Switzerland. Eventually, if somebody have a need, he can call me, I can procure this, or call in Castelfidardo to Mr. Carini. You know the factory Carini? The Dena.
Yeah.
Dena, the name, the factory is Dena, but the owner is Carini. And they have this.
Okay.
on another guy in Castelfidardo is Orlandoni, who sell these. And you find with a good price in Castelfidardo more good price than in Switzerland where they make these. I tried one time and I assure you
They're cheaper in
this is
Castelfidardo.
true. Yeah, because they buy a lot of these. Because it is difficult to find in another job this kind of file.
And that's for the fine tuning, this one.
This is come si può dire?
Cioè
This is a file with not crossed line.
Ah.
If you look, the line is only in one direction. Not because a lot of file have the crossed line.
Yeah.
Why? Because these don't make a scratch because all is a line in the same. You know, if it's crossed, you make a
Scratch.
yeah. And another thing, the work also in the side. If you have to maybe in one reed you have a problem in these, you can use for clean.
Ah, okay.
Come si dice, un residuo di lavorazione.
If there's any residue from when they've been cut, sometimes you get little bits of aluminium in the corner and you can clean it.
Yeah.
Maybe this doesn't work because we have this just. I can make this thing and clean. Another thing happen a lot of time is when the reeds exit from his hole. Questo succede abbastanza spesso sulle note gravi.
When the reeds.
I show you. Dove abbiamo messo questo? Questa è una cosa che succede quando magari prende un colpo la fisarmonica.
So if an accordion gets knocked.
Well, it hits the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
If we look, it's not easy, but I can show at all. This is more hair than here. So we will start to move in this with this tool. Okay, a little bit we force, a little bit we try until we will put free. Okay, no, this is don't work. I will do this. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
This is succede abbastanza facilmente quando prendono dei colpi, perché il peso tende magari a spostare. Se è inchiodata bene non succede, ma a volte non sono inchiodate bene.
So sometimes they're not brilliantly pinned, and if there's a weight at the end, like the lower reeds that have weights, it's quite easy for them to go out because of they have weights on the end. And if an accordion gets a knock, they can go out.
Se quel giorno lì quello che stava inchiodando le voci era incacchiato con la moglie, probabilmente non andava.
If the guy who was pinning the reed originally had an argument with his wife, he probably didn't do a very good job.
D'altro cosa possiamo vedere? Problemi sui registri?
Forse. Problems with the registers sometimes.
La tengo ancora qua un attimo, Sandro.
Tieni pure.
Comunque qua. Sometimes we can have a problem on the work of the switches. This is quite heavy problem, quite serious problem. Non per la salute della fisarmonica, ma perché è difficile da mettere a posto.
Not for the health of the accordion, but because it's difficult sometimes to fix. Problem with the registers.
Prima cosa, first thing we have to do is remove these for divide this mechanism to this mechanism, because we must fix where is the problem. If it's the soul inside the body of is this, no? If we have this heart, we don't know what is where is the problem. So we move this connection and we will try. This is okay, so the problem will be here. this will be shit. Because maybe is sufficient un granellino di acciaio della limatura delle voci che va in mezzo a dove scorre l'anima e può bloccare il resistore.
So a filing from a reed or something can sometimes get in between, and it can block, it can stop them from moving.
I always solve problems when I screw a little bit, you know, this one. Or yes.
Yeah, you must do this for remaking the God position.
Yes.
You put down, must arrive on the hole, or maybe when it's on the hole, one if you want one turn more. Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes it's problem in this inside with this plate, you know.
This is a big problem.
Then sometimes, because I have problem a lot with this registration, then I just use this one and just 2 times, or
yeah,
and
okay.
then put 5.
Yeah, sure.
Just
and I say you if you se finisce il filetto come fa?
And if you run out of thread, what happens? So if you can't go anymore, you've finished. Okay.
What do you do?
Salted.
Scotch.
Can't Beltrami. What we can do?
The ultimate suggestion.
Maybe something is banned, or I don't know. You finish this. What we can do? If you have to put more short, we bend. We bend this. It will be short. Very easy. If you the problem is if you have to put more long, but we can solve this. An hammer e un'incudine, un pezzo di ferro pesante.
So a heavy piece of metal, an anvil, but otherwise a heavy piece of metal.
And you hit maybe at the middle, tum, tum, tum.
Not here.
Will become loud.
Not yet. Take it out and put it on a heavy reed.
Because maybe it's
On your
sufficient
head.
1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. No, one hammer, un'incudine, you hit, so will be
Flat.
pressed
And
and
it will not affect anything else.
what?
It will not affect anything else.
No, you know, you don't we become like as these. Maybe you hit 2 times in this side and 2 times in this side, a little bit, tuck, tuck, tuck. You gain 1-2 millimeters for solve the problem of the moment. After you will change this. If something happen here, the problem can happen here. This is very complicated to remove a lot. But this is the apotheosis of the complication because we have 25 switches here. So, but also in the normal switch too is quite complicated. But this is a modern switches, few problems. In the old accordion, they have these. No, on the body, they have these inside the wood blocks. Terrible, because the wood blocks move, become dry or fat, and the soul inside was blocked. But there's a lot of here. They haven't this kind of accordion. They make something in the new Bayan system, a Russian accordion, because I remember, you remember we said this morning the wood blocks of the left hand of the Bayan accordion is glued direct on the wood plate.
Yeah, but here is the same, I think, from the beginning.
Maybe because they not copy, but they take the idea from the Russian system. And they make some switches in the wood of the wood blocks. We can look if you would like.
Why not?
Okay.
I mean,
Can I also ask, when in piccolo register, one higher note does not play inside? it doesn't sound. What is it?
When you close, it's very easy. No, it's very easy
Yeah.
to the little reeds stop.
Is it the dust or the leather? What is the problem? Just dirt?
No, in the little piccolo you haven't valves.
Yeah. So just.
The valves on the piccolo is on come si può dire, un terzo delle voci. Le altre due terzi sono senza valvole.
On just a third of the piccolo valves you have valves, and
Yes.
then on the rest you
Yeah.
don't have any.
And normally is the leader stop it. It's only come si dice polvere, sporcizia, dirt.
Dirt.
Ah, okay.
Dirt. But if is the reeds when you close,
Yes.
you have to have the leader tool very thin, very thin, and it's sufficient tink,
That's it.
and work.
Okay.
So on is C sharp, this one.
Quale?
This one, very small.
Ah, maybe, I don't know.
G.
Perfect pitch.
Let's check.
G.
I still do.
Fantastic.
Questo non riesco a farlo, ma perché non mi interessa farlo. Però lei c'ha un bel orecchio. È come Corrado che dice c'ho l'orecchio assoluto, dice perché indovina le becca le note.
The bigger one? Yeah. What is it?
Faccio stare le spine perché sennò.
You want to show the colors?
Hello?
Ah, it's 70.
No.
70.
I don't know.
Adesso di capire quali sono le spine.
Passa.
Che io ho fatto un po' di casino. Queste qua erano di quelle di coso.
This Piggini, the technician, was that.
Questi sono
Della blu.
Hai voglia.
Erano sulla tua.
Può ricominciare da capo.
Ah, wait a silenzio.
Ah, boh, perché non
I mean,
Lasciamo
cominciamo ad andare per
silenzio.
il mezzo.
La blu è
Ah,
Cominciamo a chiudere la cosa. I microfoni poi li attacchiamo subito. Attacchiamo subito. Dobbiamo guardare anche dentro.
Vediamo e si
È complicato. No. Senso ancora?
Allora, questa è una scia.
Cambiato la cassetta.
Adesso è visto
La cassetta la
Per esempio,
Da.
qualche anno fa le Sirius hanno avuto dei grossi
Batteria sul
problemi
posto?
sui passi, perché avevano fatto
impression, impressive. Oh, yeah.
delle vette che vengono azionate dal pettine, sai quando vengono
Sì.
Yeah.
quelle vette che vengono su, che lavorano sulle valvole, le avevano fatte troppo fini per alleggerire e col tempo si piegavano e prendeva un sacco di gioco e tu avevi il bottone che faceva 3-4 picchi a vuoto e poi la valvola l'alzava poco e stornava in una maniera incredibile. Ce ne sono state a decine di quelli Sirius in giro. Uno è il mio cliente del Lussemburgo, quel maestro che ho in Lussemburgo, il di Lussemburgo, che ha avuto quel problema lì e non c'è niente da fare, devi cambiare la meccanica.
It's a serious this one.
Very serious.
Serious buy.
It's very serious.
And
Yeah.
how old is it?
It's 4 years, but it sucks.
Have you had a problem with the bass mechanism?
Yes,
With the.
Maybe it's the same thing.
with all.
What's happened in your bass mechanism?
I think I have problem with compression. Really?
Ah, the reeds play.
Yes.
Why are you close?
Yes, yes.
Why?
When it goes on, when you make pressure, it's
So this
Play.
is
beep. That. Oh yes, I mean.
so this is
This is artisanal reeds.
Artisanal reeds.
Sì, I know. Only they make with black aluminium.
and this is like real bayan. I mean, they don't, because sometimes they said yeah
continuous
it's
playing.
bayan, but it's different. They said it's this bayan, but real bayan, Russian bayan, it's aluminium, and on this aluminium plate all the reeds. So it's like here, but it's different in Russian. Here is, I mean, it's very similar to Russian instrument, but Russian are
The Russian instruments have a very typical sound. You can find
And this
only
is
in the
during
Russian
Bayan.
instrument.
Yeah.
If you like this sound, you buy. If you want this sound, you buy Jupiter. But this will be very hard to find a good Jupiter.
I have. Very good.
Yeah, but it's very hard to find a good Jupiter.
I mean, it's quite very,
Very hard because
to
they
find
have
good
they have
gin.
not only one factory but a lot
They have different
of work.
qualities.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you don't know the just door for open for arrival, the just accordion, woo, will be terrible.
I have one problem here.
Yeah.
Could you fix these things? I think, you know, because of the piccolo,
Mhm.
when I shake,
Move.
Yeah, move. So I think it's in this one it's problem, but I can't repair it. This one. It's quite.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
This is soft, and you like have more hard because don't work.
Doesn't work, doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So.
Just first. Others works fine.
The men who make this job were not a lot intelligent. Because in this position and with this fluid, when you can use the screwdriver for remove this screw,
Yes.
because they don't know or they don't want to know exists some screw with the hexagonal form, and you can use, come si chiama la chiavetta per muovere le
Esagonale?
Sì, per le chiavette.
Allen key. Allen key.
Allen key, and you can remove and refix. This is the typical thing happening in questo filato. Typical. One accordion like that with this quality ha messo una vite qui. Lui deve regolare la pressione di questa molla perché non lavora, gli scivola giù quando fa il belly shake di questo registro. Non si può smontare quello perché. E come fa? Doveva mettere una vite esagonale, questo è incollato sulla cassa.
È incollato?
Come fai ad andare quel cacciavite lì? Dammi.
Bisogno di quello.
C'era la vinze, no. Questo maybe, ma non so se c'è lo spazio. No, non c'è.
Okay, doesn't matter. Because it will be, if I can't this repair, I will be repaired. It's no problem.
I can try, but you must pay a lot of money. I'm joking. Fa vedere questo qua, forse ci può fare qualcosa.
Like the repair accordion.
Stacchio, Mikey.
This, I change bellow. See this one?
Yeah.
Perché ho paura
4
che poi
years,
quando-
the bellow is kaput. I mean this stuff like this.
Facciamo una cosa molto più semplice.
I don't know.
Il cacciavite
Ok.
normale, a taglio
15.
normale.
Io sono queste, piccolo?
No.
Guarda,
T-shirt,
devi
something,
cambiare le
but
diverse.
few concerts and this one. Like disaster, complete.
Wow.
Could be just a beginning.
Molto succhetto. If we can't remove the screw, we will remove the Swisses. We have a space called bend. Remember, this is 2.
Finite di tirare quel cavo lì.
I mean, okay, I don't think that, I mean,
Yeah, but work, work quite more difficult to move.
before,
Yeah. Okay.
What if one note plays in one direction, doesn't
When you close the accordion, it's okay. Like because if there is work when you like is there is you can look.
C'è ancora un domingo, figo di poco, mi sono model cap.
Right, I read a notch. Would you mind taking a look at this? Would you mind taking a look at this? I actually for example, in one direction.
Fabio, c'erano queste le vite che c'erano.
Sì. Dello schermo.
Allora,
Just can I show that?
there's things I think you
Show me how to do it.
yeah. Because we only took one side.
You ever need another time, do you?
Sorry?
For stick or move. It's okay?
and how,
Thank you.
I think you know how to,
No, you can.
because sometimes I know here,
Riff più...
this set must be not so heavy here.
Here we are.
When I push this reed
This is the blue chord.
and this set, sometimes I push too much, I mean,
Yeah.
and then doesn't work, this. So it's,
Può smettere.
Because it's just.
but if it's too less, then works here. It's not good. So it's,
Because work in the wood.
Okay.
and I just take
Poi
off
bisognerà
and
metterla a
salute.
posto, ci sarà un po' di spostamenti.
Better this than